Yeah, absolutely. It's this one on the far upper right side.
Okay.
Can you reach it? That one. It should be pretty stable.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It should be self-sustaining so long as this doesn't go past 125. I appreciate it.
Okay, yeah. Now, wait, I didn't hear this question, so count me.
Oh, yeah. So this will only record 28 minutes at a time. So if it goes longer than, I think, 125, you can just press that silver button again.
Okay,
It'll
all right.
just restart.
Which, so the play button?
That one.
Okay, all right.
Upper right.
Okay, I was gonna jump.
Well, no, I didn't. I heard him talking to
Okay.
Silas, so I was like, I'll help.
Either way, thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries.
So helpful. Okay.
Sometimes. Actually, I was actually, yes.
Anything else you'd like to Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the promotion of Charles Noble and Joseph Williams from Major to Lieutenant Colonel. So, quick housekeeping. I've already said it once before, but if you have not put your badge away, please put your badges away, as we do have video going, and also there's going to be possibly pictures later on. For those who don't have visitor badges on, if you need anything, just go over there. Like, pull an ARE member, and they'll take you to the restroom and stuff like that. So, that being said, I'm going to begin by reading the bio of Lieutenant Colonel, or Major Promotable Charles B. Noble. His career began in the United States Army in 2001 with his enlistment in the United States Army National Guard. He completed basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia, and AIT in Aberdeen Proving Grounds, Maryland. His early services was with the 3625th Maintenance Company, where he served from December 2002 to August 2007. This period included a deployment to logistical support area Anaconda, Iraq in 2004 and 2005 in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. He earned his commission through the Illinois Army National Guard Officer Candidate School and was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Ordnance Branch. Upon completing the basic officer leader course, he returned to the 3625th Maintenance Company as a platoon leader and later served as an executive officer for Bravo Company 405th Brigade Support Battalion. In 2010, he became an assistant professor of the military science at Western University, Illinois, and Monmouth College. In 2014, he deployed to Kuwait in support of Operation Enduring Freedom as a deputy brigade S4 with the 108th Sustainment Brigade. Following this deployment, he held several key positions, including headquarters commander for the 206 Regional Support Group, logistics officer S4 for the 206 RSG, and later for the 649th Regional Support Group. He was promoted to major in July 2019. His recent assignments include serving as a logistics staff officer and strategic plans and policy officer with U.S. Transcom. Lieutenant Colonel Noble is a graduate of Air Assault School, the Ordnance Captain's Career Course, the Command General Staff College. He holds Bachelor of Arts in History and a secondary education from the Augustana College, where he graduated the Army Reserve Components Achievement Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Iraq Campaign Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Service Medal, the Army Service Ribbon, the Reserve Component Overseas Training Ribbon, and Combat Action Badge. In his civilian capacity, Lieutenant Colonel Noble is employed full-time with the Department of Army in Canton, Illinois, where he is the Army Reserves Administrator for the 236th Inland Cargo Transfer Company. He resides in Springfield, Illinois, with his wife, Dr. Jennifer Noble, his father-in-law, Jerry. They have 3 dogs, Daphne, Bo, and Benny. Now, Sergeant First Class Roy for the reading of Major Williams' talk.
Thanks, Sergeant Scott. Major Joseph I. Williams joined the Illinois National Guard in 2001 as an enlisted light vehicle mechanic. In 2008, he commissioned as a second lieutenant from the Illinois Army National Guard's 129th Regiment Regional Training Institute, Officer Cadet School, OCS. Major Williams continued to pursue academic excellence and obtained his first bachelor's degree in criminal justice and from Governor's State University in Illinois. His first duty assignment was the 3625 Maintenance Company in Crestwood, Illinois, where he served as a platoon leader. In 2009, Major Williams was detailed to the Ordnance Corps. After graduating from Basic Officer Leader Course, BOLC, and Ordnance Officer Basic Course in 2010, he served as a platoon leader and executive officer for Bravo Company 405th Brigade Support Battalion. Major Williams has had several key developmental, broadening, and command assignments, including escort and brigade maintenance officer for the 404th Maintenance Enhancement Brigade, once located in Chicago, Illinois. While continuing to serve, Major Williams obtained 2 master's degrees. He holds a master's in public administration he received in 2012 and a master's in business administration with a concentration in supply chain management in 2014, both from Governor's State University. In 2016, Major Williams pursued a command position with the United States Army Reserve. He was selected to command the 733rd Support Maintenance Company in July 2016, located in Canton, Illinois, and he relinquished his command 2 years later in September 2018. Following his successful command, he served as the Support Operations Plan Officer for the 310th Expeditionary Sustainment Commander, ESC. The 310th ESC was mobilized to Camp Arab John in 2020 to support the 1st Theater Sustainment Commander during Operation Enduring Freedom. Major Williams served as the Senior Plans Officer for the SPO while simultaneously working with the S3 Plans Officer in the Fusion Cell. Upon returning to the United States, Major Williams transferred to the 643rd Regional Support Group as an S4 Staff Officer. He served as an Executive Officer for the 380th Quartermaster Battalion located in Evansville, Indiana, prior to transitioning to the U.S. Transcontinental Command He has numerous awards and decorations for his achievements, to include RCOM, AAM, RCAM, and National Defense Medal. Major Williams is supported by his wife, located in the first row, Nisha Williams, and two daughters, Justice and Nyla Williams. Sir, thank you.
Lord. Madden, do you have some open remarks?
I do, only about 3 hours worth, so scrap it. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you all very much. I want to start by thanking the families that are here. The military is a team sport. I don't care if you're active duty, guard, reserve, none of this happens without y'all. So every one of those medals that you hear about, they're actually yours. They get to wear them, but they are yours. My wife, she's been with me for 25 years. Right? You have to think for a second. If you see her, please tell her I knew the number. But we have actually started dating 30 years ago, and this is my last weekend in the reserves, which will wrap up a full 30-year career for me. And she's been with me for the whole thing. So we know as a family what this is like. Every week, I guarantee you're missing something right now. It doesn't fail. The hot water heater breaks, the air conditioner goes out, somebody's, like I say, boyfriend, maybe something happens over a weekend. I may have had that happen to me a couple times while I was away. But things always happen when we're gone. And even when we're home, we're not always home. The phone's always ringing, emails always have to get answered, so we're often busy doing other things. So thank you all for the support. They don't get to do this without you, so thank you. To the Army element that's here, thank you for being here. Celebrate one of your own, and to my team that's here, thanks for coming down. Chief Diane, my senior enlisted leader, this is her last time with us also. She is also retiring, so that virus is catching over in the Air Force, so be careful. Don't get too close, you may get it as well. Some of the families probably like, oh, maybe we want to. But the fact that my team from the Air Force side is here, and you've got an old Air Force guy up here doing a promotion ceremony for 2 Army officers, is special. And I'm looking at the insignias up here, and 2 of these used to be 1, and that's the Air Force and the Army. That's how we started, actually. So a short history lesson, I promise. But Orville and Wilbur, oh no, we started. This could take a while, right? Look at your battery. But in 1908, they flew the first powered airplane that had ever been flown, right? Within a few short years, the military is looking at that going, that looks super useful to us for all kinds of reasons. And so by 1921, we were absorbed into the Army, and that was the first Army Air Corps that started as the Army. After a little while, we started to introduce these things called long-range bombers and cargo airplanes and ISR and all this other kind of stuff, and they said, this is getting a little bit much for us to deal with. And so in 1941, we became a sub-department. And then by 1947, the Army said, this is a bunch of nerds. We don't want them in here anymore. And so that was when the separation actually happened. And we've been sort of separate since then, but we have always had this relationship, especially for me, I love history. I have always felt close to the Army. And in the brief words I wanted to give, and any advice I can give to y'all as you're making 05, the shortest leadership speech I ever got in my life was from an Army 06, and it was blunt. I was a young captain, pilot, and if you don't think pilots are great, we will tell you why we are. We'll change your mind. We tend to really like what we do and those kinds of things. And so myself and a couple other captains, we were at a thing, and we were standing off to the side talking about, I'm sure, how amazing we are, and you tell me how amazing I am, and all those kinds of things. And as we're standing there, all of a sudden I hear, I'm not going to use the word that he used, I'm using a more polite word. He said, hey, idiots. He did not use idiots. He used a very different word. He said, hey, idiots. And we whipped around, and we had not seen him, but there was an Army 06 standing right behind us, listening to these captains mouth off about how amazing they were. And he said, you think this is about you? And then he said, it's about them. And he pointed at a picture like one of these that was on a wall of a soldier coming over a sandberg, fully kitted out, weapon ready to start shooting, moving, and communicating. And he said, it's about them. That reframed my whole outlook for rest of my career in a very short period of time. And that was everything I've done in the Air Force. We are always a supporting force. We are rarely disappointed. And so we are often supporting y'all. But in my personal career, this is a little bit of advice I can give to you as you make this jump from 04 to 05, which is a big jump. It may not feel like it, but it is. It's one of the bigger ones. And the reason it's bigger is because your sphere of influence, if you do it right, is about to get much bigger than it was as an officer. And so there's responsibility with that. And the responsibility, I would tell you, is it's about them, not about them. Does that make sense? If you do that right, I promise you, the amount of texts and phone calls and emails you're going to get from all the wins that they get will far outpace me when you are a person. So that's my only advice for you. And don't forget that we are still your cousin over here in the Air Force. I'm not going to say kissing cousins. I'm from Kentucky. That's probably not. We are still your cousin, and I love listening to your bios because there were so many places where I had connections with y'all. I served in Springfield, Illinois, in the Air National Guard over here for about 4 or 5 years. The entire one side of my family, the Madisons, are from Evansville, Indiana, so I know Evansville really, really well. I grew up spending my summers on Gum Street there. And I can promise you, though, the places where we are not the same is cum laude. That has never been said about me anywhere. And 2 master's degrees ain't ever going to happen. The first one almost killed me. So, I'm super impressed. So thank y'all for letting me be a part of this. I think you as the families get to pin them next, so make sure, sometimes you really got to seat that thing on the chest pretty firm. So make sure you do that. So I think that's what we're going to do next. But thank y'all very, very much.
Would families like to join our soldiers as they're getting ready to do vote?
Publish your order.
Attention to orders. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Army, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Major Joseph Irwin Williams and Major Charles Parker Noble. In view of these special qualities and have demonstrated potential to serve in the next higher grade, Major Williams and Major Noble are promoted to the grade of Lieutenant Colonel effective 16 October 2025, signed by the order of the Secretary of the Army.
Got them all done? All right. That's the fun part. Now for the contract. I used to be able to do this from memory, but when you get in your 50s, and the reading glasses. Everybody in that, come to attention, swings, if you'd like to stand as well. Ready to go? Raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
I, Charles
Having been appointed a Lieutenant Colonel in the Army,
having been appointed a Lieutenant Colonel in the Army,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
on which I am about to enter. colleague from my days teaching at LTC once asked why I did this. The long days away from home, the thankless intensity. I didn't have the words then, but I do now. I certainly didn't do this for power and recognition. I would have been happy to continue sweeping motor pools for the rest of my, at then, limited time in the military as a National Guard mechanic, nor for pay. I grew up in a comfortable middle-class home and never wanted for anything outside the military. I did this because I've served alongside better people. People who taught me that those with the ability to act, to make their own circumstances and those of the people they care about better, have responsibility to do so. They taught me it's better to suffer hell with like-minded people than enjoy heaven with strangers. But more importantly, they were people that invested in me, not only with money, but with time, with advice, with kindness, with frank evaluations, and with letters of support. People who saw something in me who invested in me even when I refused to invest in myself. People who made my figurative stock price rise, to whom I owe a debt, and I have every intention of gratefully repaying that debt back to them and then forward to the next generation of people after me, as long as I'm strong enough to wear this rank and beyond. To those extra hands on the hammer that got me to this place, and Joe to this place where we are today, this place where I never thought I would be, thank you for making me walk in all the right ways. I'll be followed by
Thank you, Colonel Lovell. Colonel Lawrence.
Good afternoon. My speech is not nearly as hard as Lieutenant Colonel Noble. I've known Lieutenant Colonel Noble for about 18 years now. So you mentioned it. If you read our bios, you see we kind of served in some of the same places, 36th, 25th. I met him at CS, and he made mention about how this is for our family members, as well as keeping this together as a family. And so he was right when he mentioned that he would have self-paid and I would have self-paid. And I reminded him that this isn't about you. This is about our family, because I was reminded of that. When I told my wife I was going to self-pay, she said, "No, you're not." I heard that right.
That's right.
Right? How about you, sir?
good answer.